starting off with Geno Smith signing a 2-year extension with the Las Vegas Raiders. So I think this is a great move from the Raiders. The Raiders have really gone through the gambit of quarterbacks these last few years. They gave up on Derek Carr, which I think, given the general lack of success, makes sense. He was a very solid quarterback who never could really get them over the hump. He only made the playoffs 2 times in his career. One of those times he broke his leg near the end of the season, so he didn't even get to play in them. The other one was a wild card exit against the Cincinnati Bengals when the Bengals would go on to play in the Super Bowl that season. But ultimately, it was time to move on, and they tried to move on with Jimmy Garoppolo, which was horrible. Jimmy Garoppolo, very handsome, but not very effective as the Las Vegas Raiders quarterback. Then they tried, Aiden O'Connell, a young rookie and then second-year player last year. That didn't work. Gardner Minshew, everyone thought hey, Gardner Minshew, he's been a starter in this league. He's had some success in this league. Perhaps he's the future of the Raiders, or at the very least a stopgap who can play somewhat solidly. That wasn't the case either. Went back to Aiden O'Connell and just an absolute mess. Well, this was all going on, Geno Smith, who I think a lot of people saw him as a outright failure after his time with the New York Jets, was reclaiming his career with the Seattle Seahawks, making a Pro Bowl and just playing extremely well and kind of making the Jets look horrible for not really being able to get the most out of Geno Smith. So Geno Smith has 3 solid seasons with the Seahawks, and he wants a contract extension. The Seahawks, newer coaching staff, they're like, no, we're not doing that. They trade him. They trade DK Metcalf as well. So just a completely new look team. They signed Sam Darnold. We'll see how that goes. Another former New York Jet who is looking to continue to improve his career after a good season with Minnesota, now with the Seattle Seahawks. So the Seahawks traded Geno Smith to the Raiders, and the Raiders seemingly were more than happy to give Geno Smith a new contract, which is, again, a 2-year extension for $85.5 million with $66.5 million guaranteed. And this is going to run through the 2027 season. So they'll have them 25, 26, and 27. And again, I think this is a very solid move by the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Geno Smith has managed to establish himself as one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL these last few seasons. Top 10, I would say, top 15 at worst when he's healthy. So a huge step up for the Raiders here, and hopefully will allow them to have some stability as they go in with their new head coach once again. They've had a lot of head coaches in their time in Las Vegas. Obviously, John Gruden being fired due to those emails being leaked. That was out of their control, but yeah, hopefully they'll be able to have some success now. Moving forward, if you're a Las Vegas Raiders fan, are you happy, one, with being, traded Geno Smith? Do you like him as a short-term starter? And 2, do you like this extension to potentially have him as a long-term starter? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments.